Why do so many people have a hard time saying no? They find themselves doing things they don't want to do with people they don't want to do them with, feeling powerless and resentful. Why do some of us find ourselves in this role over and over again? And what can we do about it? I'm James, and I'm a therapist with a passion for reconnecting people with their authentic selves. People find themselves in this doormat role for a number of reasons. It might be low self esteem. It might be desire to please others. It could be fear of rejection. And it can come from childhood experiences where maybe we were taught that we needed to put our needs behind the needs of others, including our parents. Maybe our parents were self involved and we internalized a message that our needs don't matter. Whatever the cause, it's important to remember that you can overcome these tendencies and you don't have to become a resentful jerk to change. The first step is understanding our own boundaries. Personal boundaries are limits that we set to protect our emotional, physical, or mental well being. To step out of that doormat role, it's important to identify what you are or are not comfortable with and to communicate that with others. It starts with looking inward, which can be very difficult for people who aren't used to putting their needs first. It can be hard to recognize what's going on within us. It could be that gut feeling. It could be the little voice in the back of your head. We need to pay attention to these because these are the indicators of what we really feel and want. Once we have some clarity about what we feel and want, we can then start to figure out ways to communicate this to other people. And this is how we set boundaries. So we need to be clear about what our needs are, and we need to communicate them to other people. For example, you might have a boundary around time, and you might not be comfortable working beyond normal office hours. It's important to be clear about what your boundary is so that you can then communicate it. The second step is learning to say no. This can be one of the most difficult things to do for somebody who's used to being in the doormat role. But learning how to say no is one of the most important aspects of setting boundaries so that we can avoid being taken advantage of. So it's important to be assertive when stating your needs and desires. But you need to remember that assertiveness does not require aggression. That means that we can be respectful and calm as we're communicating our needs and desires. And if we have clarity about what our needs are, it's much easier to do this. If someone tries to push against your boundaries, remain calm and firmly state your reasons for not being comfortable with their request. And you can put a period at the end of that statement. You do not have to engage in a power struggle with that person. It's really okay to just state how you feel, what you're going to do, and then end the conversation. The third step is taking care of yourself. If you begin to prioritize your own well-being, then you'll be less likely to be taken advantage of, and you'll start to feel more confident in setting healthy boundaries for yourself. This kind of self-care can be very challenging for people who aren't used to taking care of themselves. And self-care can look different for everyone. It might be prioritizing exercise and good sleep. It might be spending time with family or loved ones. It might be engaging in an activity that you enjoy. And it might be simply having enough time to relax and recharge. Once we begin to take care of ourselves in this way and set healthy boundaries, we tend to feel less resentful of others because we're not being taken advantage of as often. And another side benefit is that people start to respect us more when we set boundaries for ourselves. So remember, to get out of this role of people-pleasing doormat, you need to understand your own boundaries, you need to be assertive, and you need to take care of yourself. Remember that you have the right to say no. You do not have to engage in power struggles. It may be challenging at first, but with practice, you'll get more confident at setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. Leave a comment below if you've ever struggled with setting healthy boundaries for yourself.